Hi there, friends. I'm Scott Wakefield, lead pastor at First Christian Church of Greene County, Tennessee. And I am here today with
Jackson Radank.
And we're going to have a coffee convo. And actually, this is a hibiscus tea convo, as it turns out.
Yeah, I don't like coffee at all.
There's room for growth in everybody's life, Jackson, including you. So Coffee Convos is an opportunity to learn about the work of God in the lives of our friends. It's a part of our H7 Tell the Story stuff that we do. And so we are going to talk about how Jackson was the recipient of an annual Team Bash Team Code Awards team ball. 3 teams, lots of teams. And you received the game ball for Team Code Maxim number 5, which says, "We have a growing by learning mindset, not a fixed one." We will get to that in a bit. But first, tell us about who you are, some basic bio, why you have given your heart to hibiscus tea and not coffee, things like that.
Well, it all started in Knoxville, Tennessee, about 15 years ago.
Your life?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to start somewhere.
That's good. Yes.
Well, it actually did start in Knoxville. It was about 12 years ago. I was 3 years old, and we were getting ready to leave for Germany.
Yes.
And I was going to be a missionary with my parents there.
Yes.
So,
how's your German?
I can speak it fluently. I'm
Yes.
losing it, though. But
Little rusty of late.
yes.
Tell us, my German is decent. I am fluent, but it's getting rusty, or something like that.
Okay. Mein Deutsch ist okay, aber ich kann es sprechen. So,
What does
That's
sprechen mean?
speak. I can speak it.
Oh, yes, of
So.
course. I did know that, actually, if I had taken 2 seconds to think about it.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So let's see. You are in what grade? You play what kind of instruments? You do what with your time, etc.
I'm in 10th grade, going into 10th grade.
Yes.
I can play 5-ish different instruments.
Nice.
My main instrument is the trumpet.
You would call the trumpet your main one.
Yes.
Okay.
The drums is my next instrument.
Okay.
I have a saxophone. I'm really bad at it, but I can play it to an extent.
I don't think making a noise from an instrument
Okay.
is playing it.
I know the notes for it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
I'm learning guitar right now. I'm teaching
Yeah.
myself.
Nice.
And I took 3 or 4 years of piano before any other instrument.
Nice. Good job, parents. Good job, ratings. That's how it should be done. Piano needs to come first. At least in my musical
Yes.
history. As a Wakefield, we had to do that too.
Huh.
Okay, cool. So traditional curly or waffle fries. Let's do some get to know you speed round stuff first.
Curly fries,
Because
because they're just awesome. And I mean, the curliness, the really curly ones, those are the best ones. And they have really great seasoning on them.
okay.
So I love curly fries.
Are there curly fries other than Arby's?
I don't think so. No.
So we're talking about Arby's is what you're
Yes.
saying.
That's the best place to get them.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm surprised you didn't go with the Lord's fries.
Those are good too, though.
They are good.
But
They are good. Every time I go now, I ask for my waffle fries to be crispy. Yes. They can accommodate a little more crisp. Favorite restaurant and or food? You're a 15-year-old male. You love to eat.
yes, I do. I love Casa Nostra.
Ah.
I love Italian food.
Cool. Yeah. Any favorite dishes at Casa Nostra?
It's the 5-meat pasta. So,
Really?
yes, it's so good.
That was quick and specific.
I get it every time. Haven't gotten anything else.
Are you like that? You
Yes.
you get something in your... Really?
Yes.
Is that because you feel like you can depend on knowing you'll like it and you'll have a good experience, or
Yes.
you don't like to branch out? What is it for you?
I'm scared to branch out, that we'll pay for food and I won't like it and then I don't want to eat it, so I'm scared to do that. So I just stick with one thing, eat it every time.
Okay, cool. I'm a little like that too. Yeah. My wife is very, let's get this thing over here. My brother will go into restaurants and he'll say, just get whatever you like. That's best. And I'm like, no, I would never do that.
Oh my god.
I'm very picky and very
Yes.
boring. At least I'm boring. Would you consider yourself boring about it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty boring.
What kind of
food?
That's okay. What do you like on a pizza?
I like a bacon and pineapple. So it's like a Hawaiian, but without the pepperoni.
We were doing so well so far. Okay. One last get to know you speed round question.
Okay.
What's something you're good at or you know a lot about that might surprise some people?
Well, I know a lot about Bible translations.
Why is that?
Well, I work at the Christian bookshop, so I had to watch videos on training on how to tell people on which translation they should get.
You watch training videos about the translations?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So.
Okay. So let's play a little Bible translation trivia game here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, which is more, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, that's fine, but I suspect that you probably do. Which is more formal, wooden, literal equivalents or dynamic thought for thought? Which is more formal, NASB or NLT?
The NASB.
Well done. What is more middle of the road, NIV or CSB?
The CSB?
Maybe. That's sort of a trick question because
Okay.
I think they both are pretty
Okay.
middle. NIV is often considered kind of the middle. I would say it's a little more thought for thought-ish.
Okay.
How do you all talk about it at the bookshop in terms of the differences of some of them?
I don't really know very much. So.
Sorry to put you on the spot, and you're like,
Yeah, I don't know.
What's a good translation for a parent looking for a Bible for their fourth grader?
Well, we have Adventure Bibles in numerous translations, but the one that we use here at the church is the NIRV.
Yes.
That works pretty well.
Yeah, that is a good one. I really like the NIRV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And when was the last time the NIV went through a major revision?
I forgot that one.
Okay, let me ask it this way. What's the NIV that's the more dependable, conservative year that revision came out? Do you know that number?
I'm just going to guess 2007. I have no clue. I have no clue.
I'm just going to guess. That's funny. 84.
Oh, that.
84. We can continue the nerdy translation conversation later.
Yeah.
It actually is kind of interesting and very fun.
It is. There's so many different translations to pick from.
Yeah. What if somebody came in and said, I want a New Jerusalem Bible? What would that be? This has already gone way too long. I know,
Yeah.
But
I'd say, I don't think we saw those. I'm sorry.
Okay. New World Translation? Do you have the New World Translation?
I don't think so either.
Okay. You definitely don't have that one. The New
I'm
Jerusalem
pretty sure
Bible or the Jerusalem Bible is fine. But it's just anyway, yeah. Let's carry on. Why are we here anyway? Bible translations? No, Team Code Award. Mm-hmm. So you got a football. For those unfamiliar with the practice, we, at our big all-church team bash every year, we go through our 7 team code maxims. And we give a team ball to somebody who's embodied that for the past year. And we receive a bunch of nominations and we talk about the person, and we say team code maxim number 5 says we have a growing by learning mindset, not a fixed one. And the nomination for you said, this young man has a strong desire to learn and grow. The person who nominated him said he is constantly serving in a bunch of different areas and is super amazing in all of them, which is pretty amazing. You're like, I don't know about that. I'm not all about that. But the reason he fits team code maxim number 5 is because he literally taught himself a new instrument because there was a need. The drums. Your second favorite instrument. Was that your list of favorite instruments or order of how well you play them, you think?
It was actually both. So
okay,
yeah.
Cool. Good both and response. I'm a little too black and white sometimes, I guess. The reason he fits team code number 5 is because he literally taught himself to play the drums because there was a need, and so he could serve in that way, which is pretty amazing for a teenager. Jackson Radank gets team code game ball number 5. We have a growing by learning mindset, not a fixed one. What have you? This Maxim obviously talked about learning, and what have you learned about serving, about God, about yourself in serving?
Well, it's really shown me that I need to serve. Like, there's so many verses in the Bible that say serve or go tell others about Christ, and in serving you are doing that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
What are some of the things that you like most?
doing it with people that believe the same thing that I do. And to people that believe the same thing I do.
Why do you talk about, why did you first go to doing that with people, for you?
Well, I enjoy doing it with people. Like, I enjoy, I serving kids also. And so I enjoy doing that with other helpers, and I enjoy doing it to the kids because the kids are fun.
Tell us how you've served. We probably should have started there. In what ways have you served? Whether it's current or before, whatever. Yeah.
The first thing I ever served in was the guest team. But then one week, someone came up to me and said, "Hey, you should join the kids team." So I was like, "Okay, sure. I'll just check it out." And it was awesome. And I've been on it ever since. And then Chris came up to me one week and said, "Hey, we don't have a youth drummer and we need one.
Yeah.
So could you teach yourself how to play the drums?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I mean, where are you ever going to get an opportunity like that to learn the drums? So,
Jackson, a lot of people would say, "Oh, I don't know how to play the drums, and I'm not sure about that. And that sounds like a lot of work, and I don't really know if I could." That's not necessarily all that normal. So that's great. Tell us about what you've done in kids. What kinds of roles have you played? What have you done?
Well, I've been a small group leader where
What does that mean?
I help. Well, we have a large group, and then we split off into small groups. Sometimes it can be in like K through 2nd and 3rd through 5th in different small groups. But at South Green now we have one just big small group, and then we
Big small group.
Yeah. And we just do activities together, fun stuff. With
So
kids.
you're doing the Bible story in some fun gamesy kinds of ways, telling the story, singing about it, having a large group teaching.
I also help in teaching the large group. So.
I was headed toward that, yes.
Okay.
I've watched you do that part, and like, you come prepared, you're focused. Why do you like that part of it?
Well, I'm teaching the kids about Christ and what he's done for us, and I'm relaying the message of what God's done for me to them through that. So
it feels important, and it's yeah, cool. Got any good kid stories? Because I'm sure they listen to you all the time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot that happens, and I forget a lot that happens.
How about my 10-year-old kid? Has she been Attentive? Not?
Yes. She,
You're like,
she can
she can be attentive.
be. Yes. But there are times when she, like all the other kids, are talking to their other friend. And we have to say, hey, listen.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot that goes on like that where we have to say, hey, listen, you're talking to someone else. So.
Yeah. I appreciate you normalizing that behavior as if it wasn't just mine when you said, just like the other kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes, maybe, but not usually. It's for most of the time. I got it. So, what have you learned about how God works and the church? And you've mentioned being with others. What have you learned about how God works and what the church is in ways that are different than you used to understand them?
Well, I've learned that God works in miraculous ways,
Yeah.
and His plan is perfect, better than mine. And I've learned that through having to change my plans, because like I used to live in Germany. I never wanted to leave Germany. I wanted to stay there forever.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to leave that, so that changed everything.
Yeah.
Then I thought I'd be at Arrowhead for a while, because I used to go there before I came here.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be there for a long time.
And you were getting used to that place
Yeah.
and getting a sense of,
And we were only there for 1 year, I think it was, yeah.
yeah.
And then came here, and
Yeah.
so.
And your dad's on staff, just to
Yes.
give a little context for that.
Yes.
Yeah. And your mom's on staff. So, something that's sort of unique for us here at First Christian is that we put a large emphasis on serving on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do Sunday school in that sense like a lot of churches do. What has that taught you about yourself? Serving on Sundays, seeing the body work, you getting to serve in ways that, like, you didn't before?
I've definitely been serving more than I did in Germany. I know that sounds weird. That
Really?
I've served so much more than I did in Germany, because
Some of that's age, of course, and
Yes.
it's a little different. But what have you learned about yourself?
well, I've learned that I need to rely on God for everything, because, like, serving, like, if you're serving, you can be doing something and then something won't go your way. Like, I like things going my way. I know, but
You like your curly fries
yes, I
Yes.
love my curly fries.
and your 5-meat pasta.
MIT.
Yes.
So,
So,
but
meaning when you're doing something, you're not as in control of what's going to
Yes.
happen with it?
yeah,
Huh.
that, and
How has it helped? I was thinking about this Team Code Maxim 5, growing by learning, as opposed to being like not moving forward, not growing. So growing can be uncomfortable. It puts us out of our comfort zone. What are some ways that you've been put in uncomfortable places? Where are some examples of being put in uncomfortable situations that ended up being part of your growth?
well, like, for this youth group, I'm on the student leadership team, and so it's expected of us to go and talk to others and to new people, and I don't really like doing that very much, because I don't like talking to new people, but
Well, you have to put yourself out
yeah,
there.
so
Yeah.
that's growing, and I have to go and put myself out of my comfort zone and go talk to that person that's new. And
Yeah. What's the value you've learned in having to do that? Have you seen that help in ways that you look back and go, oh, yeah, I felt weird about it, but it has helped, whatever. Have you seen that?
a little bit. There was a
Yeah.
guy in our small group, and he was new, and I would talk to him afterward because, I mean, it's expected of me. So I went and I said, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And I said, where you come from? He said, "I'm at South Green." So he goes to school there.
Uh-huh.
And so we talked a little bit, and
Cool.
I don't think it was because of this, but he's now in our small group every single week. But I don't think, but he's there every week.
Making people feel welcome and comfortable is a huge piece of why they stick around.
Like that's why we stuck around at FCC's, because we felt so welcome here.
Cool.
So
cool. What are some ways your mom and dad have been examples of serving for you?
Well, I've seen my dad and my mom.
Right.
They serve all the time. Like in Germany, they went out of their comfort zones to leave the country, to go to a new place, to teach other people that they don't know the culture or anything about, to go teach them about Jesus. And they serve
Which is a huge amount of learning.
Yes.
Growing by learning. Right.
Yes. And they serve here now all the time. They push themselves so much to go help these people that need help.
Sure.
And so seeing them do all of that has motivated me. Like, I want to do that too.
Yeah. I think a lot of times people assume that if you grow up in a context like that, I grew up in a ministry family like that. And I'm not sure I ever thought of myself as not doing the same thing. And just kind of thinking, well, of course, that's what Radanks, that's what Wakefields do.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people kind of assume that if you grow up in a ministry family like I'm talking about, that there's this, oh, well, you're just forced to do this, and you're not doing it because you want to, or something like that. I never felt that way. I can tell you don't feel that way. What would you say to people who look at ministry kids and go, well, you're just doing what they were doing? I know it's kind of a loaded question. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I'd say, well, at first it is a little like that because we're little kids, and so they have to say, hey, you have to do this. But as you get older, when you start actually understanding stuff and you start understanding, this is what I need to do with my life, then you take initiative for it with yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's not just because of your parents, it's God working through you.
That's good. What would you say to people who hesitate to, because here at church we talk a lot about where you're going to serve. This is what we do. It's part of us becoming contributors, not consumers. It's part of learning from the body, from the inside out, God's vision for your life, and moving forward with that kind of a vision. And so we stress it a lot here. What would you say to somebody who is hesitant and they're uncomfortable and they may not want to do it? What would you say to someone who doesn't want to because they're scared about it for some reason?
Well, I tell them, well, this may seem scary, but it grows you as a Christian.
Yeah.
You see God's work every single day when you're serving, because there are people everywhere serving.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think that's a super cool and very important point. That's been a key thing for me in my life as a part of a kid who grew up in a family that was doing ministry all the time. I saw it in my family, and then I started to see it all over the body of Christ, doing work, helping people, not because like we're earning it, but because we know what it means to be saved, and so we're trying to help others and build them up. I think that's a really cool feature of all this for us at church is every Sunday, I mean, we're crawling with people doing this, cleaning the bathroom, playing the drums, handing out the brochures, making the coffee, doing next steps things, people on stage doing stuff, band people doing stuff, folks in the tech booth making things happen. And oh yeah, by the way, there are dozens of people with the kids helping teach them.
Yeah.
So like, it's crawling with people who are doing work like that. I think it's a really cool picture, like you talked about just then, in ways that are very encouraging. At least for me, every Sunday I go away encouraged, seeing the Jackson Radanks and everyone else pitching in. I have a couple last questions. Any other thoughts about serving and what you've learned about yourself? Has it changed your vocational goals, etc.? Anything else you want to tell us?
Well, one thing that I thought of earlier when we were
Yeah.
talking about change and how I don't enjoy that is that though we think change is like, ugh, no, God uses it. Because like in Germany, I didn't really have that many friends in church.
It was a small
Yeah, it
church.
was super small.
Yeah.
And so
And
like,
you all were you were the missionary family. There weren't other English speaking,
no, there was for a little
everyone
bit.
was
but
native
then-
German families. Okay,
But-
gotcha.
But then, like, we prayed, like, God, please give me a friend in the church. And then we leave, and I'm like, oh, my life is over. No. And then we come to FCC.
And you felt that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I thought it's ruined. Everything's changed. Nothing's normal anymore.
Unbeknownst to you, by the way, your parents and I talked about this in this transition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a thing that was a struggle for you, obviously, big time. Total change of culture. And you're coming to the unknown and hoping that he can find a friends group was a big piece of their prayer in this transition for you. Yeah.
And then we come to FCC.
Yeah.
And I've got, like, I have so many. I can't really count them all.
Yeah. Cool. Good stuff.
So,
So our last two questions are always, what is God currently teaching you? And what are you excited or encouraged about?
the thing that God's teaching me is that I need to not be selfish and stuff, because I like to think, oh, no, I don't want to do that because I'm scared or something like,
Okay.
or like I need to stop thinking, like I went to Mexico and for the missions trip, and I saw people who they're living with trash everywhere, and they don't have as much stuff as we do, and yet they're praising God's name. And little thing doesn't go my way, and I'm like, ugh, and I complain. Well,
Nice.
I don't complain to people usually. I complain to myself in my head all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm incredibly selfish, and God's telling me, dude, you got so much stuff.
Yeah. A lot to be grateful for.
There's so much to be grateful for.
Yeah. Good stuff. And what are you excited or encouraged about?
Well, I'm excited about serving and seeing other people my age doing the same thing.
Nice. Yeah. What about that for you? Why do you say that about younger folks serving?
Because, well, most of the time people think, oh, they're teenagers. They don't really want to do serving or stuff. I mean, that's the stereotypical thing that I think.
Or they're not ready to, and
Yes.
so therefore we can't let them, and they're going to mess it up, or...
Because I think that with little kids. So...
And we do have an actual limit. We don't let all people
Yes.
of any age. Yes. Right.
And so there's got to be people thinking these people are probably going to mess it up. But then like if we serve and we show, like we say, we can serve, we do serve. And
Yeah, that's one of the main things for me that's been an ongoing encouragement over the years is seeing young folks jump in, and we encourage it. We want to train them. We want to show them how it works. And it starts with, hey, 6th grade, squirrely, very energetic boy who has trouble paying attention.
Yeah.
Come here with this adult who's going to show you how to do this. And it's interesting how, I mean, yeah, there's squirrely, sixth grade boys who have energy all day long.
My brother, for instance.
I was not saying that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Jackson,
sorry.
let's be nice. And yet you say, okay, stand here with this older gentleman, and he's going to show you, and like suddenly they're like, have a good worship service, or something like that, right? You know, like they're focused, and there's a sense of importance about who they are and what they're doing that I think is super cool.
Yeah, like Grant, he just started in the tech team.
Yes.
He's doing the lights.
Uh-huh.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, and what's cool is when our goal, Grant doing the lights, somebody passing out brochures, somebody cleaning the bathrooms, whatever the case is. When our goal is for those people to contribute and for us all to grow through that, when the lights don't exactly happen perfectly, or such and such, we run out of worship guides or bulletins, or part of the bathroom doesn't get cleaned as expected maybe, or something like that. Around here, nobody croaks and has a cow about it.
That's awesome.
Because the goal is for the Grants and Jacksons and all of us to contribute, to be a part of the body, and to help us grow. Good stuff.
Yeah, and it's got to start somewhere. Like, if we don't start them in sixth grade, then they're not going to start. So we have to. So we got to work through the mess ups.
Preach.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully you keep growing to get beyond your hibiscus tea and enjoy coffee. It's fine. You don't have to. It's fine.